Hey everybody, this is episode 3 of Conquering Paralysis and Keep Moving Forward. My name is Dave Miller, and today I'm going to continue talking about what happened immediately after my accident, and we'll just continue with that. After my accident, I was in the hospital in ICU for 12 days. And in that time, my accident was July 1st. On July 5th, they fused my neck from C2 to C6. So that was a pretty significant surgery. They didn't repair my back, where I broke my back at T5, and that healed on its own, and my nose has yet to be fixed. So I've got some more procedures to go through, but I spent 12 days in the ICU and then was moved to Frazier Rehab in Louisville, Kentucky, which is a wonderful place. And I spent 65 days in Frazier Rehab and inpatient. And during that time, the physical therapy and occupational therapy started while I was in there. And once I had my Asia score done, and they found out that my injury was incomplete, which meant I had pretty good feeling throughout my body, just things, the paralysis was there. Once they diagnosed me as incomplete, which meant that I could possibly get some movement back, they really started an aggressive therapy and started moving me, sitting me up and doing different things just to get me moving. And eventually, I want to say within 30 days of the 65 that I was in, they took me up to the spinal cord therapy gym. It's on the 11th floor at Frazier. And a lot of the research that's done up there is from the Christopher Reeve Foundation. And they do a lot of research at the hospital at Frazier, and it's a wonderful place. If this traumatic accident was going to happen, I am very lucky to be local and right here in the Louisville area, where I'm in therapy with people who are from around the country and around the world who come to Louisville to get therapy and to go to this gym that I'm in. But while I was still inpatient, they took me up to that gym and got me on a treadmill to start me walking. And it's that the repetition of your movements that trigger your brain and your spinal cord to recognize that these parts and pieces are still connected, and that you want to move again. So they harnessed me up on this treadmill that would only allow me a certain percentage of my body weight on the excuse my dog here as she's walking around, would only allow a certain percentage of my body weight on my feet at a time. And I believe I started at less than 10% of my body weight was actually on my feet at a time. And I would walk for just 2 or 3 minutes. You're exhausted after walking for 2 or 3 minutes at less than 10% of your body weight. And through time, every day, they'd get me up and harness me up and start me walking. And it was just, it's just amazing. And I can remember as I started walking, as my feet were doom, doom, doom on the treadmill, I would tell myself, I will walk again. I will walk again. That's what I would say to myself when I'm on that treadmill, and just, it's repetitive, it's painful, but it's the most rewarding experience you'll ever have when that's taken away from you and you're able to get up and actually move again. And I was in that gym 5 days a week for occupational therapy and physical therapy for about 16 months. In December of 2018, I was discharged. I had hit that plateau to where I wasn't increasing at a very high rate. I was still progressing, but I had kind of plateaued in my progression, and I was discharged, and now I go to therapy 3 or 4 days a week just for occupational therapy on my arm that I had surgery on. I'll tell you about in a minute, and then I go to another gym on the 9th floor at Fraser. I go there 3 or 4 days a week. It's called Community Fitness and Wellness, and I have a personal session with a trainer once a week to help me build strength. And then the other days a week I go in there, and it's like a regular gym, like a YMCA or a Planet Fitness, but all the equipment in there is for adaptive use, so you can be in your wheelchair while you're there. And they have people there that'll help you get on the machines or get off the machines, and I'm telling you, it's a wonderful place. But during my when I first started walking, I have what is called tone, so I'm very stiff. In paralysis, you're either very loose or flaccid, where everything just hangs, or you are very stiff and cramped up. So you see me sitting like this because my muscles are very tight all the time. So I do take a drug that is an anti-spasticity drug. It's called baclofen. So it helps with my tone. It helps me. It's a muscle relaxer, basically. I got to the point where my tone was so stiff it was inhibiting my walking. So I had gotten to the point in the drugs where I was taking more than the recommended daily allowance by the FDA. So I had a test done where they shot the baclofen directly into my spine. It was like an epidural, and the test results from that were very well. It loosened my legs up, and I was able to perform better than normal. So what I had done is I had a pump surgically implanted in my lower abdomen. It's about the size of a hockey puck. And a little catheter tube runs from my lower abdomen around and into my spine, just below where I broke my back at that T5 location. So it's up around in here somewhere. So that medicine I'm being fed medicine 24 hours a day by this pump, and it's, relaxing my muscles. Basically, it doesn't do a lot for my arms and shoulders, but anything from my mid-chest down, it's relaxing my muscles to help me move and walk. And once every 30 to 45 days, it matters the level of medicine that this thing is giving me. I go to the doctor, and they refill it. It's a pretty cool little procedure that they do. It's pretty wild what they can do. They do it with an iPad, and it takes about 5 minutes to give me a month's worth of medicine, and it just trickles in and out all day long. So that's another major surgery I've had, and then the third one that I've had so far is my hands. You can see how these fingers are kind of crimped up. This is actually pretty good. This right hand, as you can see, the wrist drop. That's my wrist. This muscle here on top is super weak. It really hasn't woken up yet. This brace was just made for me today, as a matter of fact. But this hand was crimped up. It was more like a club. It was not useful at all. So I went to a hand surgeon, a physiatrist is what they're called, and he did what was called tendon release surgery. So there's an incision on my arm up here where they took the tendons and actually released them. Is why it's called tendon release surgery. But they released the tendons to give me more flexibility in my fingers to make this hand a little more useful. So that's what I'm going to therapy for every day now, is to get the movement back in my wrist and fingers, and to build strength in that as well. So it's coming along. I had this surgery in November of 2018, and it's coming right along. The strength isn't there, but the mobility's there. Kind of hurts right now because of this new brace, but the flexibility in my wrist is where the doctor and the therapist want it. But what I really want to talk about today is my helmet. I said in my last video that I truly believe my helmet saved my life. I believe that the second chance I was given was a big part of that was this helmet. Can you see it in the video?
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay. The brand name of it is Kali, K-A-L-I. Kali Protectives is who made it. Please get on their social media accounts. It's a wonderful company. I don't know if you could see it, but the helmet actually underneath split apart. It looks like it's intact fairly well there, but if I can hold it up and show you, on the front, it looks like I hit right around here with my forehead. It actually split apart in there, and I was talking with one of the lead engineers at Kali, K-A-L-I. I was emailing him and talking on the phone with him last week, and I asked him if he could tell how hard I hit, or the G-forces that I hit the car with. And he said without me sending him the helmet, which I'm reluctant to give up, but without sending him the helmet, just with his estimates, just by looking at pictures, I hit the car at 200 to 250 lineal Gs. I'm no engineer, so I did what everybody else does, and I Googled it, what lineal G forces were. And I was pretty amazed what I found on the internet about it. And it said when you sit down, that force when you sit down when you plop down in a chair, that's about 10 lineal Gs. When you, or it said the accident that killed Princess Diana was about 70 to 100 lineal Gs. And then it said the force that your body can take in a bicycle accident with a helmet on was 150 to 200 lineal Gs. And the engineers from Kali told me just their estimate from looking at my helmet and the way it came apart was I hit at 200 to 250 lineal Gs, and I'm here to talk about it. So that just tells me that that's one great product. I back them 100%, and I know they're backing me on telling the world that is one great product. Again, it's Kali, K-A-L-I, and it's Kali Protectives on Instagram. And I would love it if anybody watching this video likes and subscribes everything on their social media accounts. And I would love it if you would like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. ask me questions for further updates. What do you want to know? I'll answer any question. Nothing is taboo, and I'd love to hear from you. Like, dislike, however you like, but comment at the bottom. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying talking about it. It's good therapy for me, and I hope it's helping you. And we'll just keep moving forward. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.